The fact that he's won decisions by, playing it safe, people that just don't get excited and they recognize him with the all-time greats, the best ever.
Yeah, I really
I've seen just like a totally different beast. He's
Just
super
nonstop,
nonstop, and you can't keep up with that.
He does step back, but then he comes in and jabs. Tries to counter. That's boxing.
Joe Rogan reacted to Shakur Stevenson's dominant win over Teofimo Lopez by calling him one of the most complete fighters he's ever seen. He praised Shakur's precision, discipline, and ice-cold composure under pressure, saying this performance proved that elite talent combined with relentless work can completely take over at the highest level.
It's hard work. It's just hard work. I believe that, but man.
Yeah, but state of mind too. Like he believes it mentally.
But the amount of hard work is extraordinary to get to that.
Stevenson delivered one of the best performances of his career, outboxing Teofimo across all 12 rounds to capture the WBO junior welterweight title and become a historic 4-division world champion, a milestone reserved for only the elite of the elite.
Man, let me tell you, Shakur moved so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. Congratulations to him.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round.
After the fourth round?
Yeah.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know. It's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, he tried. He definitely tried. His dad was emotional. He wanted him to do better, but, this is boxing.
All three judges scored the fight 119 to 109, a brutal reflection of how one-sided the contest was from start to finish. There were no debates, no doubts, just dominance.
Just beautiful performance by Shakur, dominant, only lost a round. Was there any moment you had any doubt, or I don't know, but as the fight progressed, what were you seeing?
Well, actually, once I seen that he couldn't handle our hand speed, I really felt comfortable with that, I thought, that we could take risks and do more and whatnot, and as the fight went on, it seemed like it just got better, We was hoping that the pace would, kind of kick in with him and slow him down, but I think he did to a point, but I think, the overall performance, he did well, like I said, we give a lot of respect to him. He's a formidable opponent, and Shakur just stayed with the game plan and just outscored him. We wanted to get ahead on the scorecard, so we took it from there and just tried to.
Rogan said what he's always admired most about Shakur is his defensive genius and technical brilliance, calling his movement, timing, and awareness nearly impossible to solve.
Shell since Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
His defense was incredible.
Yeah. Defense, and he stayed, and that guy was putting the guy from Golden Boy. I can't remember his name, who he fought, but was just a good fighter and was really pressuring him. And Shakur stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
He stayed in the pocket.
He also said he's not going to fight that way
before.
anymore.
He's not a runner, yeah.
But he said after that fight, I'm not going to fight that way anymore. He said I took too many shots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he wanted to put on a show and show everybody he's not just a runner. He could stand in the pocket. Right. Then he's like, why am I doing this? I'll box the shit out of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean, he's a silver medalist, that guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's elite. He's elite. Yeah. And just one of the best. It's
what made this performance special wasn't just defense, it was how Shakur turned defense into offense, slipping shots and instantly firing back with clean counters that broke Teofimo's rhythm and confidence.
I thought that Teo is an elite guy, and he basically made him look quite average tonight. 4-division world champion, 28 years of age. What can you say?
Did anything surprise you about Teo's performance tonight? Because I almost feel like he's running out of ideas. But
I just think Shakur looked strong. Shakur looked like he was punching very hard. His jab was on point. His footwork was incredible. It's his timing. It's his fitness. He's a complete fighter.
Is Conor Benn realistic for Shakur Stevenson next?
Hold on, guys, you can't go through that.
No. Conor Benn next.
We love that.
After the fight, Shakur showed class, praising Lopez's courage for putting his title on the line, tweeting, "Thank you for the opportunity, Teo. I respect you for not being scared to step up like the rest." Meanwhile, Teofimo looked crushed in his corner, unable to mount sustained offense, visibly frustrated after a fight that never went his way.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing,
Your
man?
thoughts on tonight?
Just grateful to be here, man. That's all.
You put on a performance tonight and unfortunately came up short, but what was it that surprised you about Shakur Stevenson?
Nothing at all, man. Just didn't come with the right plan. That's all. Better man won tonight. Good fan.
Do you feel like you'd like to run it back at some point with Shakur? I know you're someone that always wants to, like that time Kambosos beat you, you want to do it straight away, right?
I will see what happens next, man. I'm gonna let my team do the work on that.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Phil Haney publicly applauded Shakur's performance, posting, "Great execution by Team Shakur." Across social media, analysts and fighters called it a masterclass, not just in offense, but in damage control. Every time Lopez tried to apply pressure, Shakur shut it down with footwork, timing, and laser-accurate counters. Even when Teo tried to rally mid-fight, Shakur simply adjusted, forcing resets and breaking momentum again and again.
You gotta start with Teofimo's mindset. I mean, he's a terrifically talented fighter, but he can be hot and cold. And I think the hot and cold isn't really attached to his physical abilities or condition. I think it's mental. I think, is he in a mental good place? Is he mentally in a good place? I think that, I don't know if we know that for sure, but when he's in mentally a good place, he's a hell of a fighter. I think that what's interesting about this is that he might be the first fighter that Shakur has ever faced that can match him athletically. Speed, quickness, and surpass him in power. But match him with hand speed and leg speed. So that makes it very interesting. I'll tell you something that nobody would dare to say, because I think of Theo, look, Shakur's terrific, and he looked great in his last fight. But I think that if Theo is right mentally, he could possibly outbox Shakur. Nobody would think that.
What makes you say that?
Because of what I just said, his athleticism. He can match him athletically. And he's got a good enough IQ of this sport in the ring, where I think that he could, if he has the right strategy, and he's right mentally, I said that already, but he could actually make Shakur come out of his comfort zone and have to come forward, which was really not his forte. His forte is to be a great defensive fighter, turn defense into offense, and be a great counterpuncher. He could maybe make him come, get off, get out, use his legs, and maybe put the emphasis on Shakur to have to go take the risk. That would be interesting.
There's another fight that's been announced today. Chisora against Wilder. Two guys coming to the end. What do you make of that fight?
I just don't want to see nobody get hurt. I think that, I love Shakur. He's one of my favorite people.
No, because, a lot of the stuff that he did, we were familiar with and we game plan. So when we seen it, he didn't bring his problem, he didn't bring anything different to the ring that he's been. When you're playing for a fight like this here, then you gotta have another game plan, a plan A, a plan B, a plan D. So he only had one plan. He thought that he was faster than us, and he thought that Shakur was slow. So that's where he made his biggest mistake at.
Right. Did Shakur ever, I think at one point he said something about he just said that he's stronger than him or something like that.
Man, he ain't nowhere near as strong as me. So, that worked to his advantage and to his confidence.
All right, cool. So now
I think Theo felt the difference, you know what I'm saying? So, you see, he wasn't aggressive. He didn't try.
Time for Shakur Stevenson. Now that you've sort of sailed off into the sunset, done your thing in boxing, is he the sort of heir apparent to what was your throne? You look at him and go, you've all the ability, you've all the tools. Obviously, you're friends as well as just someone who you've been in the gym with. Is he that guy now who becomes pound for pound #1 if he beats Teofimo Lopez?
Well, yeah, for sure. When he beats Teofimo, he'll be a 4-weight world champion. I'm a 5-weight world champion. I can see him becoming a 5-weight world champion as well. Shakur got all the tools and all the abilities to do bigger and better things than me, and that's what I'm hoping for him to do.
Compared you to the 4 kings, just something different. Who was your favourite of the 4, and stylistically, if you could have fought one of them prime for prime, who would you choose?
To be honest,